Radio. I'm Walid Chaya.
I'm Kavita Raj.
And you're listening to Lights
Camera
Convo. And we're here today with a very special guest. Welcome to Max Larsen. What's up, Max?
Hello, how are you?
Oh my
We're
God,
good.
Max is genius and a very, very dear friend.
Yes, Max, you're a multi-talented artist from the world of dance, music, and acting. A friend of ours, but first a friend of Kavita's. I met, you through her and Ria, and we're so excited for today's show.
Thank you. I'm excited too. I'm really grateful to be here. Kavita is my second mom, so it feels so good to be able to be in front of the camera with you. We're always backstage hooting and hollering, so this is a good change of pace.
Max is my son from another mother.
Right.
Yes, I love that. And Max, I've seen you perform in Ria's video, Messy. That's where, right?
Oh, we did a little promotional video for Ria's video.
Yeah, in Messy, we did like a cute Super Bowl style commercial, and Max was in that and such an integral part of that video. But we met way before that. Max was in a bunch of performances with Ria last year in 2023. We were introduced by Hero, and Max was just a mind-blowing performer that just was great to tour with, perform with, and get to know personally as well.
Thank you. Yeah, we had a sold-out show at El Rey.
Yes.
And it was like the best time of my life. There was like 300, 400 people in that audience, and they were just screaming fans. It was like we were opening for a K-pop artist, so like the girls were ready.
Yeah.
And
that was literally your first time performing with Ria. So it was just like that. The energy was amazing.
Yeah.
But you have such an amazing journey, such an amazing career.
Yes, and we're going to go into that deeper today. Max, you're a performer in Hollywood, young, up and at it, making waves, and we're going to learn more about that. I know we've mentioned the words Ria Raj, the name I should say, and that is your daughter, Kavita. So why don't you introduce yourself to our new listeners, Kavita?
Thank you. Yes, guys. I'm Kavita Raj, mom to pop artists Ria Raj and Lara Raj, and founder of independent record label Mischief Entertainment, and besties with Walid, and doing my favorite thing ever with this podcast, Lights, Camera Convo.
And a super mom.
Yes.
Can cook the house down.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes,
Anytime.
Yes.
Yeah, when there's dinner at the Raj Mahal.
Yeah, actually don't talk about it much, right? I do have an Instagram page called Mama Raj Kitchen.
Mama Raj Kitchen,
where I share all
Indian
my
fusion,
creations.
world fusion.
Yes.
Right? I mean, you really take your South Asian roots with your dishes, Kavita, but I've seen you make Italian crossover, American crossover, something Mexican inspired that still has,
everything's
certain-
always a global fusion.
I love that. That's the word, global fusion.
Global fusion. And
Yes.
I think I've cooked quite a few times for my brother and my son here, right?
Yes,
Yeah, it's
yes.
amazing.
And Kavita and I met during a program that her youngest daughter, Laura, participated in.
Yep.
I was her first acting coach many moons ago.
For both Ria and Lara
Yes.
in New York City.
In New York City
And
at
that's
the
how we
time.
met, when we walked into your program and you got them their first agent, manager, and so many reels and projects for them, and so much more, connected them with so many opportunities. Trips to LA.
Yes, and then we
Summer
all ended
camps.
up in LA. And
Yeah.
so, I run an acting school, as you guys picked up, Studio for Performing Arts LA. We are online and in Los Angeles. If you're an actor looking to break into the business, check us out at studioforperformingarts.com. But that's who we are. You're listening to Lights,
Camera
Convo. And we're with Max Larsen. So,
Yes.
Max, we have a full episode today, jam-packed about the Netflix game show you're on, about the music you're making, about the Vegas show that you performed in. So much to cover. So how are you feeling, and are you super psyched?
That's quite a loaded question. Today I'm feeling quite psyched, if you will.
Yes.
I've had definitely, like I was telling Kavita earlier, ups and downs in the journey. I mean, it is a hard wave to ride to be a performer, and just anything in the entertainment industry in Los Angeles. You can have moments where you're like, I'm a superstar and everything's going fantastic, and then you have moments where you're like, I don't know, I'm gonna pay rent. This is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So just I feel like this past week and a half has been really like an honest reflection of like what we're actually trying to do. And I'm kind of re-assorting things, and like you said, making some music. So like going into different routes, and I'm really excited to explore those different avenues and expand as an artist and producer and just person who makes things.
Yeah. And, we've known you to be just so talented, so creative, and with so much energy as well. You walk into a room and you have to know Max to know he walks into a room and just lights it up.
Yes.
And it is like just the energy, people feel it. You should be exploring different things, and you're doing that right now. Like you
Yes.
just said.
You're young in Hollywood. You're putting it on fire.
Tell us a little bit about, what are some of your recent, kind of moments in this last year, highlights that stand out, and in the last couple of years since you moved to LA?
Well, I've been blessed and I've had a lot of really great opportunities, but I guess in my head, the best opportunity is always like the next one. Like I really just I love focusing on like the horizon of what's to come. But something recent that did happen was I directed, choreographed, and like produced my first music video for another artist.
Oh my
and
God,
so
that's
it was
exciting.
really exciting to be able to be using my videography skills and my choreo and to kind of be removed as like the artist part, because a lot of times I'm in front of the camera, and to be able to be like, let me just create this on you and like really be creative in a different capacity felt really cool. And I just haven't been inspired. So now I want to keep creative directing and like helping other artists on their projects as well as my own.
That is so exciting.
Yeah, it helps
What
me learn.
genre was it? What song?
It was actually a Southeast Asian artist.
Okay.
They're from, oh my gosh, not me on the spot, not remembering. But one of them is Lao. The featured artist is one of my really great friends. And then there's like a Taiwanese influence, and there's a bunch of different Southeast Asian cultures, but it's like a pop song.
A shot in LA.
Yeah, shot in LA, right at
Wow.
FD Studios downtown.
So fire. I love that studio space.
Yeah, it's
We've
so
shot
nice.
a few videos
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
the lights are really nice, and then I wardrobe styled my really good friend, and it was just really exciting to be able to pour into someone else. Because it makes me feel like I have a stronger why to be here instead of just like, it's about me all the time. It's like, no, sometimes it's like about you, and I'll just help you.
But like I was saying in the previous section, right? You are a bundle of energy. You really do come across as someone that has so many creative ideas. Even when we were doing that Super Bowl style commercial, a little
Super Bowl.
someone's like, tongue is twisted.
We didn't do our tongue twister
Yeah, I know.
warm-ups
Sorry, I
today.
did not.
Red
and I
leather, yellow
haven't
leather.
even started the wine yet, besties.
Yes,
Cheers
cheers.
to that. Might as well have a good excuse for why
Yes.
I'm not able to speak today.
But you were saying
But-
when Max was doing the
Yeah.
Super Bowl commercial
Yeah,
for Ria's
the
music
ideas
video.
you were coming up with on the fly were just so brilliant, and really excited to work with you more in the future.
Thank
but
you.
yeah, and
We love a little improv.
Yeah.
I'm groundlings trained, so
Yeah.
I love to yes and someone, as Ariana says.
So
Yes.
let's talk a little bit more about that, because I
Yeah.
feel like improv is a critical skill to have for anybody, not just for performers in order to learn to create characters, especially in the world of comedy, but also as an entrepreneur, as a human in your day-to-day, learning how to pivot and deal with, the wild cards that the world, deals to you.
Yeah,
So
every
tell us
day,
about
every
that.
day I feel like you get like an Uno +4, a change direction,
Yeah.
a reverse. Like I there's never gonna be a linear route.
Especially
in
as an
entertainment.
artist.
Yeah,
right?
you're never gonna be like, I'm gonna do this and then do this and then meet this person and then do this. Like it's always gonna be like, I ended up here and then someone pushed me over there and then I didn't like that and then I did that.
So
Like,
how do you handle changing your plans?
That's been the mantra lately has been attached to the process, detached from the outcome. So
Attached to the
love
process, detached from the outcome. Tell us
love
more
it.
about that.
that is just my central mantra of being all in to what you want to do and like being dedicated to the process of creating, but being so detached from what it looks like and who's involved in it. Like the specifics you have to, I think, let go to the universe or your God and let the divine really come in through your art, because if you try to strangle it too tight, you won't allow like the real art to come through, which is like the in the moment improv of like, well, we didn't, like right now, we didn't think we'd be doing this shoot at this time in this room, but we're
Right.
doing it.
Yeah.
And that allows a new like kind of energy to like filter.
Go with the flow.
we went.
Yeah.
Oh my God! You just literally I was about to say
Bestie,
that.
I took the words out of your
you
mouth.
took the words out of my
Stop.
mouth. We both we have one brain.
Yes.
Walid may have the larger chunk
No,
of it.
come on.
He was like, oh my God, please don't compare my brain to
No,
yours.
Kavita, you are a genius. You are a genius yourself, Kavita.
That is so accurate about like the fact that, when we do the work with all of the passion and the dedication, what ends up happening is that the quality is seen, the passion is felt, right? People can, see that energy. Getting overly attached to the result can be,
And
frustrating.
It can make you miserable. And why are you creating art? If you're going to be upset at the end of it, like, there's no point. Because at the end of it, it should be to foster some sort of joy and, like, community. Like, if we're making this podcast and we're all frustrated, it's like, well, then what's the point of doing that? Like, that's not helping anyone. Like,
well, I think you just said something really clever there where you have to find the joy in the work. And when this acting business or this dance or producing, whatever you're in entertainment starts to become a nuisance and you lose the joy, you're already sacrificing so much and living as a bohemian artist, sometimes paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
It's not so glamorous till you really get your big break. You're going to get little breaks that build. So, you really have to keep that joy. And I really like also what you said, Max, about leaving the rest, up to destiny. It's like for actors, I always tell them, you have to do your homework, be prepared, memorize the scene and beyond. Memorization is just the first part, but truly, thoroughly understanding it. Rehearse it sitting, standing, with the other character standing on the left side of the camera, with other characters standing on the right side of the camera. And then throw it out the window. And once you walk out of that audition room, move on.
Totally, completely. I think that you have to, like you said, move on from things, but I think what you say about preparation is so important because you prepare in every kind of way you can and then just let it go. And then be like, trust that that preparation has made you prepared as you can be in that moment to do the best that you can possibly do with the gifts that you have today. And you'll always evolve and you'll always grow, but you can only do your best that you have available today. You can't do any more. So it's like
your best changes day to day. You might be sick one day and your best is not as good as when you're optimally healthy.
Right.
How do you handle challenges that are thrown, your way? These, when you're going through this process of auditioning, figuring out different things, different opportunities as they come. How have some of the challenges been overcome?
Yeah, recently I started doing therapy, which was very helpful.
Yeah.
Having a licensed professional to talk about my issues has been really helpful. But in addition to that, I like to journal, I like to read and meditate. I recently started going to church again and really trying to feel, I'm trying to get tapped into the source.
Spiritual something.
Yeah, a spiritual something, because I think I was lacking community, which we'll get into later about, I guess, different things in the industry, where I've been on jobs that I thought was my big break. I was like, this is my moment, and then I didn't have the community behind me, and so I was like, oh, I'm not really having a great time, and what's the point in being a bohemian artist who's dancing paycheck to paycheck if I'm not enjoying the people I'm doing it with? Because that's my life at the end of the day. If I'm on contract with a bunch of people and I don't enjoy them, I'm making, I guess, good money, but wouldn't I rather be somewhere where I'm enjoying my free time? And
especially in something you've worked so hard to do and refine your skills.
Right.
This whole job is something that you have to do only if you have immense passion for it.
Immense, because what is that quote they say? If you could do anything else, then do that.
Yeah.
Because it's not worth all the heartache if it's not actually what you want to do.
100%. Having said that, there are some roles that one has to take so that they can kind of, get you by till the next opportunity comes. But yes.
Learning that right now, too.
Sure. Yes, absolutely.
How has your singing and dancing influenced your acting career altogether or apart?
That's a good question. I think that dancing is my first medium that allowed me to perform in front of people. It was the first medium that people were like, you're really good at that. And they paid attention to me. And I think that kind of got me over myself in order to put myself in front of people. And so it helped me when I act to be I don't care, I'm already used to having the confidence.
Gave you confidence.
Yeah.
Dancing gave you confidence.
Dancing gave me confidence, and then acting is kind of I found my voice, and I was like, how do I actually want to be perceived?
How do you use words?
Yeah, how does one word? And I started thinking about that, and that was really helpful.
Wow.
Did you take acting lessons?
Yeah,
before
I've taken acting lessons in New York and in LA at different studios, and I've been really big about producing my own work and creating real footage based on films that I want to make. And Hollywood is all about no one's going to give you the opportunity. You have to prove that you can do it. So I've just
nailed it.
Yeah. So I've been in that route of just hey guys, I think I can do this role really well. I'm going to write a script. I'm going to cast you in it. I'm going to cast you as that. Can we all meet up and do this?
Thanks. You had just mentioned in the previous segment about creating your own content, work for yourself. I want to jump to one of your projects that you made, Mask for Mask. Is that right?
Yeah, Mask for Mask.
YouTube?
Yeah, on YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, tell us everything.
So, contrary to what some people might think, it's not MASK K, so it's not like mask like this. It's mask like masculine.
Masculine.
MASC.
C.
Okay,
Very
gotcha.
important to get the
Mask
C
for
because
mask.
it's
It's a gay reference.
It's a gay reference for y'all straight people out there. It's a gay reference.
Yeah.
And I made this film.
I got it.
Yeah, well, come on, we got this. Kavita, you got it?
I did, actually.
Okay, cool. So I made this film, actually a part of this challenge called the Collaborations Film Challenge, and it's where you make a short film in 2 weeks, and you get a quote, and then you have to write a script, produce it, edit it, everything final in 2 weeks.
I love it.
So I told myself I have to enter because I haven't shot a short film by myself before, and I was like, you need to just put yourself on a deadline and be like, you have a 2-week project, do it, because otherwise you won't ever do it. And so I
Right.
did that. I had this idea for kind of this 90s rom-com, but make it gay. So like there's like those fun little quirky twists where you're trying to keep a secret from this person, and it's kind of very quirky and goofy, and there's a lot of I guess like kid humor in that, like fun and games.
It looks
yeah.
bubblegum fun.
Yeah.
It looks upbeat, just from
Yeah.
what I saw. And we can watch it now on YouTube.
Yeah,
is that
yeah,
right?
yeah. It'll be live on
Love.
YouTube, and it's just playing into the gender roles of how in the gay community, I feel like a lot of people think that you have to find love in this mask for mask territory. Like I have to be super masculine to attract a super masculine person. When my queer experience has always been that I actually fall more in love with someone like the more open and fluid they are, and I think that there's lots of misconceptions with that. So trying to tackle like a big subject but with like a funny project.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
love.
Yeah.
I
It's so
love that
great for
too.
like anyone to watch.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
so exciting.
Yeah,
And you said
totally.
it's going to be dropping soon.
Yeah, it's going to be dropping. I have the trailers already ready, and I just need to literally click publish. I've been.
So by the
doing
time of
everything.
this episode,
Yeah,
it might
it'll be
already
out.
be up. Take a look on YouTube. And Max, we can find you on Instagram and TikTok, correct?
Yes.
What's your handle?
At Max Larsen, MaxLarsen.
Yes, and you will get all the updates there.
Yeah.
So what I loved especially about that, Max, and this is advice I give to my students constantly, actors and filmmakers that are training, take opportunities to create your own work. You found a 2-week deadline, a program that's a competition, and you entered, similar to the 48-hour film festivals.
Right.
There's a lot of those.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't heard of a 48-hour film festival, look it up and see if it happens in your state, okay, or what's the closest one near you. You'll meet so many filmmakers and learn about the process in such a short time and get a new sense of community.
Yeah, I met a lot of people that I was able to collaborate with like after the project, and I was also forced to learn how to edit, which was something that I was like, I can't do that. That's not possible. But me and ChatGPT, we just linked up one night, and I was like, how does one Adobe Premiere Pro? And I had a final project.
There you
That
go.
is so amazing.
Thank you, ChatGPT, for teaching Max how to edit.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Just don't steal my acting jobs.
Right.
The feedback is also so precious, right? When you enter a contest like this and you just take that chance and do it, what ends up happening is that getting to know what the judges think about it, or getting to know what the people that are
Yeah.
viewing it think
Yeah.
about it, that feedback is gold.
I had one of the judging team, they came up to me because they only screen like 10, but there's like 70 that get submitted. So obviously most of the people don't get their film screened, and I was not expecting it because it was my first year, but one of the judges came up to me and was like, your film reminds me of this person who is doing really well right now, and they won all these awards at our competition. This reminds me of their first film. And I was
Wow.
like,
Oh,
I
what a
really
compliment.
I really took that to heart, because I was like, it's so humbling to know that people see your potential too, because sometimes it
Yes.
feels like you're alone in this and you're like, I swear I'm good.
And there's also nothing wrong in knowing whether you're on the right track or not. And it's okay to be like,
Read
if
the
someone
room.
tells you
Yeah.
you're on the right track, you're like, okay, fine, I got this right, and I just have to keep doing more of this.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get the feedback saying this wasn't the vibe, or this wasn't the look. Then you know you have to, work on that.
Adapt.
So that's
yeah.
amazing.
Again, just pivot and be
Yeah.
like, okay, how can I make it better next time? And obviously, this was not going to be the most perfect short film. There's so many things in it that I was like, I wish I could have fixed that, but the experience is invaluable.
And it's never going to be
Yeah,
perfect.
no,
perfect.
it's always a work
Directors
in
still watch
progress.
their movies after the thought, and they have notes. Personally, for me, I don't like to watch my own work, especially after like its initial premiere. It's because I've been watching it for like a year or two.
Right, and critiquing
Do you know
every
what I
little
mean?
thing.
Working on the
Right.
process from the script down to the final project.
Right.
Max, more about you. You have a song that's coming out soon, "Friends to Lovers," isn't that right?
Yeah, I have a song
the title.
yeah, Friends to Lovers. It's inspired by the situation I had that just really felt very raw and inspiring to like make a hyperpop dance hit to.
Yeah.
And it's all about someone who you're really good friends with and you really love the connection you have. And you're like, I think we could take this to the next level.
Yeah.
Because I think that all really good relationships are built on this basis of friendship. And again, in the gay community, I feel like there's a lot of like separation between church and state. So it's like sex is over here, friends are over here. And I'm like, I think that some of the best sex might come from having one of your friends.
Yeah.
So this song is just kind of a celebration of that and kind of a tease to be like, hey, I love to be your friend, but friends to lovers sound better.
I love
And when can we expect your song Friends to Lovers to hit? Around the spring, maybe?
Yeah, it's going to be a spring summer anthem. I probably will drop it around my birthday. My birthday is May 25th. Gemini's holla.
Gemini. Cheers to the Gemini right here.
Gemini.
We've had a lot of Geminis on our show.
I mean, we're performers,
The
baby.
last episode, if you missed it, go back, meet Lamaya, music artist. She's incredible, just like you, Max, Gemini.
Geminis.
And just like me. So, we are
have the
taking
energy.
over this podcast. Sorry,
I love
Kavita.
Gemini.
You got to deal with all of
Gemini.
us.
I'm Aquarius, so I love
She's an
Gemini.
ally. She's an air sign, though.
So we're going to play a very short teaser. We're so lucky. Again, we are so lucky to have a teaser of Max's song.
Sneak
His
peek.
new song, Friends to Lovers.
Yes.
We're going to listen to a teaser, and then we're going to
iHeartRadio
react.
World premiere.
iHeartRadio world premiere, Friends to Lovers.
Here we go on Rukus Avenue. Let's do it.
We could be the perfect team. Talent bursting from the seas. Got looks, got brains, making me go insane. Life's are just a perfect deck. Two kings of heart can't be apart. And your heartbeat got me obsessed. Now I love to look in your face. God, love to be your friend. Friends to lovers sound better. Baby, it's no pressure. Friends to lovers sound better.
All right, Friends
That
to
was
Lovers.
so amazing.
Thank you.
Friends
Oh my God.
to Lovers feels
better.
better.
Yeah, you
I'm
got
already
it.
like catching on to it, Max.
It's just, it's like, let's
It's
say
a
hey,
groove.
oh, let's say, oh.
It's such a vibe. I
Yeah,
love it.
I'm really blessed that one of my
sounds like summer.
friends. Yeah, it sounds like summer. And one of my dear friends who I actually started by dancing for him, he also produces music and he helped me
nice.
with this track, Charlie Curtis Beard. He's amazing.
Okay.
Like a great rapper, was helping me with my rhythms and produces like magic, like piano, guitar, like I
So
can't.
brilliant.
Friends to Lovers coming out soon
the
around
title.
Max's Gemini birthday this May.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss it. We have so much more to come up. We're going to be talking more about music with
Yep.
another one of Max's songs. But before that, I'm dying to ask you about what it's like dancing in Dita Las Vegas, a Jubilant Revue where you shared the stage with the Queen of Burlesque herself, Dita Von Teese.
Dita Von Teese.
Von Teese.
But I love TC.
DC, okay, tell us everything because I know it's a big show. I don't know her work personally, but I mean, to be called the Queen of Burlesque and to be in a show like that.
Yeah. So Dita Von Teese is, like you said, the Queen of Burlesque. And she has this big Vegas residency where it kind of encapsulates her legacy and like all these different vignettes of things that she's done over her career. And it was really nice to be part of that because she's very humble. She's a really nice performer to work with because she's very much like, I want to give credit to all these performers and I have a supportive team around me. And she was never a diva. She was just as sweet as you would hope her to be. And it was a big move going to Vegas and performing in. I think it's the third largest stage in the world, they said. The Jubilee Theater, which is known for its iconic showgirl shows. So all those shows that you think of very Vegas-y, they started at this place called Jubilee, which is the Jubilee Theater. And they have all these giant headdresses, like weighing up to like 40 pounds on your head.
Wow.
And backpacks. And so I had a wingspan of like 7 feet on each side of
Wow.
wings and headpiece. And then you're going upstairs and you're trying to be pretty. And so it felt like a really nice moment to have, to learn what it's like to be in the creation process of a show. Because we were booked and then we were in a workshop trying to figure out what the show was going to look like. And I've always stepped into projects being like, this is the project, now this is what you're going to do, goodbye. And this was like so like, what's gonna happen? Oh, this actually changed this. So yeah, it just changed like all the time. So it was really nice to be able to experience that creation process and know what I like and what I don't like in that process.
No, that sounds so exciting, so interesting. And you know what is amazing is that your creativity, there's room for some of that, right? There's a little bit of room for being part of that process as it's being made. Such an exciting thing. I remember when you moved to Vegas for a few months for the special project. So
I was really, it took a lot for me to move there because I really wanted to stay in LA for like the opportunities that I felt.
You were there for what, 4 months?
About 5.
Yeah.
And then I left after New Year's Eve, and I just felt very compelled to come back to LA.
Yeah.
And it was the right decision because then I got into more like creative directing and doing my own projects because there's only so much I think what I've learned that you can bring creativity wise as a dancer working for another artist. Like no shade to any artist,
Of course.
and dance is its own art form. But I think that what I was craving was more storytelling that was coming directly from the source.
Right.
And so I want to like see what that venue is like. And I was
that.
I was really grateful that when I did leave, I thought people would hate me. I thought it was going to be like, I can't believe that you guys are leaving. Like we've put you into the show, but it was the opposite. Even one of Dita's team members, I was so scared to tell her, and she was like, "I'm so excited for you. Wow, like this is a new journey for you." And
Goosebumps for the support.
It was nice to know that people realized that we're all doing our own journeys.
Yeah.
So like the intertwinement is beautiful, but it doesn't need to be forever.
Again, talking about doing what you love, right? It's very important that you are growing as an artist, right? You wanted to explore that singing side of you, the songwriting side of you. You wanted to learn what music video direction is going to feel like.
Yes.
So you're exploring all of these different things. I think as Geminis too,
Yes,
Geminis
we want it
crave
all.
change.
We
want it all.
Geminis love, they're multi-talented, they're multitaskers, and their brain really is doing multiple things at the same time.
Sometimes
I really
too many.
Yes, and I love, this current age where it's a renaissance. The artists are artists again.
Yeah.
People call them content creators, people call them actors, and I know there's a gray line in there, but people like you, Max, people like me, like your daughter, Ria, Kavita, who are editing their videos, writing them, making their music, collaborating in film, creating events around it, doing the nitty-gritty behind the scenes, spending hours and days and months on playing all the roles and working with people to help them. I think it's the age of the artist.
Absolutely. Creators, right?
Yeah, it's important to know how to do everything. That's what I've been learning. It's like being involved in the behind the scenes is equally as important to knowing what to do in front of it, because without that you don't have any awareness of what's going into it.
Awareness
Awareness is important.
So
Awareness.
when you were behind the scenes, for example, in that music video project, what you really recognized is understanding how the camera works, right? How people look at it, what is visually appealing for the audience, for the viewers.
And
right?
one of the most important things I've learned is that my job as someone who handles the camera is almost being a therapist in a way of like getting people comfortable and being like, you can trust me to capture you because you're an artist. You're worried about how you look. You're worried about how you're sounding. You're worried about how you're dancing. And so it's kind of coaching people through the process of like, you got it, baby. Okay, so we're going to do this, and like hyping them up so that they feel like they can collaborate with you and feel comfortable. Because that's why
you
I'm there.
could take them farther.
Exactly.
Speaking of, farther than you know.
I know what
is
you did
a
there.
song by Max.
Okay.
Kavita, you've heard Max's song "Farther Than You Know."
I have heard it. I got a sneak listen about an hour ago.
And we're gonna play it now
so
for you
amazing.
all and react to it. It's going to be a great way to showcase your work, Max, and I'm so excited to give a listen on iHeartRadio, Rukus Avenue Radio. So here is "Farther Than You Know."
Start off from far from home, but look at the places I go. Oh, know that I'm on the right road. I'll keep on driving. You look back enough, easy to self-destruct. Gotta have faith to go, marching right along, doing things you never would. Ignoring all of the noise. Realize the strength in what you could. It's finally making way for me. When life hits you hard and your heart is full of scars, love like you're not alone. You're going farther than you know. You easy to lose your way, but you can start new each day. Don't be so hard on yourself, just give yourself a break. Following a dream you made. Success don't set a date. Can't wait your middle to someone's and you're still true. Doing things you never would. Ignoring all of the noise. Realize the strength in what you could. It's finally making a way for me. When life hits you hard and your heart is full of scars, love like you're not alone. You're going farther than you know. You made out your choices. Don't run from the voices. You've learned to take it slow. You're going farther than you know. Just wait and let your spirit do the talking. And breathe into who you are and who you wanna be. Just think about what you've done and what's possible. And act out of love for what you wish to achieve. When life hits you hard and your heart is full of scars, love like you're not alone. You're going farther than you know. You made out your choices. Don't run from the voices. You learn to take it slow. You're going farther than you know. Farther than you know. You're going farther than you know. Farther than you know. You're going farther than you know.
And we're back. That was Farther
loved
Than You
it.
Know.
I love even just the title.
Yeah.
It is so beautiful.
It really encompasses my soul. That song is
Yeah.
like my feel good. Like when I am driving, I cry, I listen to it.
You had an acoustic
your heart-
guitar in there, but then you also had this pop melody
Yeah.
with your lyrics, and there was a little bit of like a sway, light dance.
There's a
perhaps.
Jason Mraz
Jason
esque
Mraz, yeah.
vibe
We
to it.
actually produced that on a
Beginning, like,
cruise
early
ship.
2000s.
We produced it on a cruise ship
Wow.
during the
Boat
pandemic,
vibes.
lockdown.
I didn't know you produced. I think you wrote it. but I
Wrote
didn't
it
realize-
and produced
Wow.
it April of 2020 on the cruise ship that we were working
In
on.
the peak of the
The
pandemic.
peak of the pandemic
Were
and
you
the peak of the
performing on this
Pacific.
cruise ship?
Yes, I was a dancer and singer on that ship, and then I was like, I want to make some of my own music. So we got some wine like this, and we made a song, and it really encompasses my whole journey.
Max, would you play a game with us?
Sure.
We love trivia.
Clearly,
we love trivia.
we all know that he plays games. So
Quit playing games with my heart. Not those kinds of games. We're playing a trivia game, okay? Max, this question we actually decided would be inspired by you.
Oh.
Because you performed in Vegas, right? We just talked about that. So this is going to take us back, okay? This is,
I'm
not in
nervous.
me and you's time, but this is a Vegas correlation. So, trivia question is, which legendary performer headlined the grand opening of the Jubilee Theater in 1981 with a lavish stage show? Was it A, Frank Sinatra, B, Dean Martin, C, Diana Ross, or D, Judy Garland?
oh my god!
Wait.
I actually
So
do
here-
not know this.
Okay. Wow, this is a hard one, especially because I'm not good with history.
Frank, Dean, Diana, or Judy? Who was the legendary performer to headline the grand opening of the Jubilee Theater in 1981?
I'm gonna give, just because she's my favorite, Diana Ross.
Ding, ding, ding. That is
actually?
correct.
Oh, wow,
Yes.
okay, come on.
It is Diana Ross,
That was kinda
and she is an icon.
I love
Yeah.
her.
I mean, an icon. How incredible
How
is
long
that?
was she in Vegas? I didn't know that.
I would say a nice stint because that show ran for a bit of time. It was such a big one. That was in 1981. And, she's still around doing her thing at her age now and looking beautiful.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. I love her. She's
amazing. I'm just really scared to when I'm like recording something that I'm gonna be like, and then not know who that person is. Oh. So luckily I know who Diana Ross is.
Of course. Now,
Speaking of games,
my
God. So I was saying that because you clearly were on a game show as well.
Yes, a Netflix game show.
Yeah,
a Netflix game
show.
Netflix
game show.
The floor is lava.
The floor is lava.
Tell us everything. What's the show about? How did you get into it? And did you win anything?
Okay, so
he's alive. He's like he wasn't in lava.
Living proof. That experience was actually so amazing because I'll get into we started it. Basically, I just sent in an audition on casting networks and was like, game show, I'm down. I want to submit for it. I got two of my friends who I thought were the most fit that could do it with me because I was like, if I'm going to do it, I want to win. So I was like, here.
You didn't invite me?
I didn't know you yet.
Right.
So
while I'm sipping my wine.
The most fit.
We'll save you for Survivor. And so I got my friends and I coached them to be these fitness fanatics with me. And we were all on yoga balls for our interview and all had bandanas on. Because I was like, I know how reality TV works. They want a big personality. Yes. So I said, come on, guys, we're going to be big personalities today. And then we got casted. We did the project. And we ended up, spoiler alert, getting some money at the end.
It sounds like someone might have won.
Someone might have done something good with the lava. But it was actually really incredible to see the aftermath of it because, I'm not famous by any means. I'm a local celebrity we love. But I was out at bars in WeHo and people would be like, were you on Floor is Lava?
No.
And I was getting recognized in the street. That makes me feel good. And I'd have people reach out to me, funny. You were on that Floor is Lava show. And I was like, y'all actually remembered.
That's so
that
important
is so amazing.
Because there's no one way to get attention as an artist, right? People, I think back in the Jersey Shore days used to look down at reality TV. And I'll tell you, it's gotten a new facelift, more or less in its own way. Because in the Kardashians even took it to a new level, right? So I think, it's become a new outlet for people to make a name in the era of social media where everyone has to make a name for themselves.
Yeah. And they themselves will tell you, for example, the Kardashians themselves will tell you how their own brand changed from being perceived as trashy to being perceived as very classy.
Yeah.
And it's taken only 15 years or something like that.
15 years for some manners to kick in.
But that is the amount of time.
But we love the Kardashians. Right? We love you guys. Hi, Mama Chris.
We love them. All this to say that I've always loved them from the beginning. But to say that that's how it's perceived is amazing.
Yeah. I also was I really wanted to go on reality TV because I knew that I had a great personality to just have fun in camera, and I want to invite people into that. And so some people are scared because they think that they're gonna edit me into a villain. I'm like, you couldn't edit me into a villain if you tried, and if you did, it would be funny. I would laugh at it. And
I want you to play a villain in a film or something.
Yeah, right.
You want to hear something?
That is so funny. I love that perspective, and I love the fact that one is open. There's no limitations as an artist to be able to explore all the different avenues. And like you said, if that brings you one step closer towards accomplishing something, being recognized, having other opportunities, adding to your resume.
Right. I mean, someone might see me on TV being a fun personality in a game show, and they'd be like, oh, can you host this? And that's an opportunity.
I love that. And that's what it is. Right? Showing your personality is everything. Social media is about people trying to find out who you really are, what makes you tick.
So on Netflix, that's a big platform to be able to.
Can we watch it right now on Netflix?
Yeah, season 3, episode 2.
Oh,
fabulous! Season 3, episode 2, The Floor is Lava with Max Larsen. You don't want to miss it.
Oh my God! Listen, literally in every segment we've had something new to share about Max. It's full of surprises.
Oh my gosh!
Yes.
This whole episode.
It's a multi-hyphenate, baby.
Yes, and Max, I think something interesting before we go to break. I don't know if you knew this, but we have the same talent agency. Eris Talent Agency.
Oh, wait, come on.
Shout out to Eris.
We love
Cheers to our
guys.
agents.
Cheers to
That is so
agents.
amazing.
We love our
Yeah.
agents at Eris Talent
That is so
Agency.
fire.
I actually just recently signed with them.
Who are you with?
I'm with Tatiana for
Love
commercial.
Tatiana, yes.
Yeah.
I'm with Cindy and Amy, and they're the best. We're in
Yeah.
good hands. And artists, those of you listening, having an agent or a manager, an advocate who's rooting for you, who you trust, who
A
you
good
can
one.
communicate
A
with,
good one.
rooting for
Yeah.
you, right? Like Tatiana herself, like the rest of the team at Eris, and many other agencies out there.
Yeah.
It's critical having a mentor, having a manager. You mentioned earlier the importance of community, Max. And Max, we have had such a great journey with you today
Wow.
on this
Thank you.
episode.
Surprises at every turn. And the fact that you're a multi-hyphenate, but also it all comes so naturally to you. And I keep repeating this to everyone, again, but really sitting in that room with you, watching you not only just perform and dance and, sing now, act, but also just create. The ideas come out of your head they flow.
Yeah, I'm really blessed to be like a funnel for God. I feel like the universe just gives me ideas, and I get overwhelmed that I can't do all of them.
Yeah.
So, but I'm really blessed that I can.
You have enough outlets to be able to share that with.
Yeah, in counting. Yeah.
Yeah, and that makes me think of a moment I had with a student, an actor and filmmaker I was working with. They were stressed that, a project might be taken by, a producing team and made, but not on their discretion. And what I had said is, if your work's going to get made and you're at least confident in that, you have a million other ideas, right? So,
abundance.
So make something else.
True.
That security
There's
and
a lot
confidence.
in that brain, and I love that you mentioned that, Max. There is not a limit of creativity.
No,
Yeah.
it will keep flowing. It has to keep flowing.
Also, that security and confidence is so appealing, and
Yeah.
it shows.
Yeah.
It shows. You stand out in a crowd.
Yeah, you never want to enter
Yeah.
a room with a scarcity of like, this is my only thing.
Yeah.
Like, and be desperate. You want to be like, I
Yeah.
have all of to offer.
Yeah.
And if this works out, great. And if it doesn't,
Of course, and then of course, as a music, as a record label manager, it's very important for me to guide artists to always remember. Of course, you are brilliant. You have like an endless amount of ideas. Have contracts in place. Have paperwork in place that protect you and that take care of you. That's very important to do. However, as a person, as an artist, when you're meeting people, it's important to come across as just very generous and appealing.
yeah, share freely.
Yeah, absolutely. My
Max,
God.
what would you say to a younger you looking back,
I love that
before even
question.
jumping into singing, dancing, acting, just having a little spark of joy for it, not knowing you're even going to maybe be in Hollywood?
Yeah.
What would you say to that, Max?
Well, first of all, I would say, great job, baby. You're doing sweet. Because I think that back then, when I was younger, I was very hard on myself, much harder than I am now about like if I'm ever gonna make it. And the question, there is no answer because you never really like make it. You just
You're making
continue-
it each day.
Yeah,
you're here, you're alive,
You
you're
wake up and
breathing.
it's just the progress. But some advice, like some logistical advice, is that you truly don't know everything and allow people to teach you what they can teach you. I think that when I was younger, I used to be like, I'm ready now. And the truth of it was I wasn't ready now. And I know that I'm still not ready for some of the things that I have on my horizon. And I have really been learning this concept that I learned from this book, The Infinite Game by Simon Sinek, which is this way of looking at life that it's infinite and always ongoing. So you don't have to be like, okay, I have to get this done by next year. And if I don't, I'm a failure at this. It's like everything will unravel how it's supposed to.
Time
And
is a construct we've created on ourselves.
and if you truly create an infinite mindset, then you're able to look at things like, oh, like it'll always loop back around, or I'll get another opportunity. Because when you think of things in finite, you get stressed and you cling, and then you try to.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah, you grab things that aren't meant for you because you're you
Yes.
think that it's the only one, and so
Desperation creeps in.
so I've been grasping the opportunity to learn that to think infinitely.
Well, that's also a freedom in its
Wow.
own way.
yeah.
Congratulations on that. That's huge.
I mean, we fight for it every day, but yeah.
Yeah.
That is so incredible. I love this question that you ask, Is that also one of the things that excites you when you wake up? When you wake up, what is it that keeps you like just looking forward to the rest of the day?
I think the diversity in what my days bring really like
Yes.
keeps me going, because every day, like I'm in a new situation like this where I'm recording a podcast with people I really like in like a really beautiful scenario, and I get to share this with people, and so the diversity and variety is like
Your days are not mundane, to say the
Yeah,
least. Your routine is
yeah.
switched up often.
Always.
And people who don't know the entertainment field, who don't like their routine being switched up might find that a challenge.
Yeah, because I mean, this is the art of the pivot. Like every day is a continual pivot. Because
The art of the pivot.
The art of the pivot.
new book dropping soon. No, maybe.
Max,
Hey, you said it here first.
Max, we know you're on Instagram and TikTok at Max Larsen. Let's
Yes.
spell it one more time.
It's at Max Larsen, MaxLarsen.
Yes.
And we're going to be looking for all great things coming from you there. This has been so much fun.
I am
Max.
so excited, Max. I know we're going to be working together
Yeah.
on more music projects, more music videos,
Yeah.
and amazing projects with Ria. And so thrilled to have been able to talk to you on this
Yes.
podcast. Walid and I love
Yes.
you. We had so much fun meeting with you
Yes.
socially outside of this.
Yeah.
But very many exciting things to come for you. And I'm
Yes.
here rooting, supporting, and madly excited.
Yes, and you can catch us on Instagram and TikTok at Lights Camera Conversation. And join us next week for a new episode with Roxy, an Emmy-nominated director and dear friend. You don't want to miss it.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Max.
Yes.
I'm Walid Chaya.
I'm Kavita Raj.
And I'm Max Larsen.
And this is Lights
Camera
Convo.
तेरा आंखों में खो जाना क्या पागलपन था सोचना
We did it, Joe.
जाएगी